guys. Hiya, it's Claire Spalding and you're watching my branding vlog from My Brand Story. As always, I'm here to help you build a truly authentic business business and brand that will connect. Now today, connect's another good word for today. I'm calling this the branding cycle of life. No, I'm not. I'm calling this the circle of brand messaging. It's really important because you want to always fill out your circle. What I mean by that is, if you set a goal, you set an idea of what your brand is, you want to make sure that everyone that touches on this gets it. Like Chinese whispers, but actually not Chinese whispers, the opposite of Chinese whispers. That you're saying this and it's getting right back to you through your customer, the same message. Not that it just distorts and it's all indirect and then it comes back and you said, well, I didn't know that I was branding glasses with, I can't even think. You might be a clothes designer and you've got ethical messaging, you have organic products, very clear messages that you want to say. You then hear back from your target market, the customers relaying to you that you don't have organic and that you're all price driven. And they're things that go against what you're about. So really it's about getting consistent brand messaging from woe to go. The full circle, close it out. I'm going to be doing this a lot in this vlog, so it's a circle. Circles are really key in marketing and branding, I've found. A lot of the activities I do and a lot of the marketing and plans that I do are circular. They're not one line. You don't go from dirt to dirt. You go back and you re-go and you re-go. So enough of this. Let's get back to it. So today, I want to talk you through the circle of brand messaging. So how important it is for you as a brand and an owner of a business to getting it through to your target market. So let's start with the beginning. You want to set your foundations. You want to set the foundations and the brand brief. So what it is that you want to be saying, how you want to be looking. Ultimately, what I'm talking about here is the brand pack that I create. And it's your who, what, where, and why, your attributes as your business, so your values, what your brand person looks like. What are those important things? Like, how are they to look? What do you want to come through? What messaging do you want to convey? But ultimately starting with what you want and what your goals are. You need to set those, and you need to be very, very clear, because if you're not clear about that, the circle's going to go off there. You need to know what you're saying in order to come back at you. And I know I talk about this a lot, but it's so important. If you don't have this solid foundation yourself and an idea of what you're about, you're really not going to get this full flow, and you're not going to get the maximum marketing, the maximum connection, the right target market, because you're not clear about what you have. Oh, hi. Tea. I have a dog walking through. And off he goes. And so then you go, all right, once you've established this, once you know your goals, once you know what you're about and what you want to message, getting those 3 points, which are really important. And it's worth making the time to do this. Do not cut corners here, because this is your foundation. You then go to your second point. Your second point here is, before you're even talking to your customers, you're communicating this to your suppliers. Anyone else that touches your business. So your suppliers will have, once you do this, so let's think about this. So for when I say suppliers, I'm talking about your graphic designers, your website designers, your people that are dealing with the SEO, your people that are supplying you product for your business, people that are manufacturing for you. So if you're a designer, people that manufacture for you. If you're doing videos, you're a vlogger, the person that's taking a recording, any person that is coming into your business to help you, so your internal to help you communicate, needs to be on board, and they need to understand this. And you might think, well, why? I'm not talking to them. They are the people that are actually going to help you look and present stronger, if that makes sense. So think about these people, because your suppliers will have a better understanding of exactly what you are about. So your suppliers, once they know your brand messaging, what you're about, and your key values, once they know this, they then can communicate these in physical attributes, in what they supply to you. So can you see how it's starting to build? So you're now putting the bricks and mortar onto your foundations. So they are now using your brand, your messaging, to then build stronger attributes. Once you've built that and you feel strong in all your attributes, you then look at your staff. Your staff, or if you have staff, or anyone else that collaborates with you, anyone that connects with you, anyone that you connect with in the business to build your brand and your product, they then need to understand this. They then need to know your brand goals. They need to know what your values are. They need to know where you're going. Because once they know that, they can then strengthen that as well. See how it's building up? They are then, especially with staff, if you've got customer service or if you've got anyone relating to your staff, they've got to be on board. They've got to be tribe members. They've got to feel ownership of it. Don't just tell them. Make them feel a part of it. Build it together, and they are then going to be, they're the voice and the face of your business, if you have staff, that is. But as I said, it's collaborators as well. Like if you're working on something together, they need to know what you're about, because then they need to make sure they're in line, and you need to make sure they're in line. And the same with staff. If you're looking at your values and you're looking at some of your staff and you go, they're not really fitting in, they're not on board, they're not presenting the dream, that is something to look at too. Is it going to work? So make sure that they are on board and they're selling it and they're living it. Not even just selling it, they need to be living it. They need to be understanding of what you're about. Because if they don't understand it, your target market aren't going to understand it. So this is a really, really important thing, and I think it's overlooked a little bit. It's sort of like, you don't tell them, you bring them on board. The world is changing. It's not the old school dictatorship. It is how can we work together as a team and a business to connect and to be strong and to want to be where we're working. You want them to love where they're working, because they're going to then be your biggest advocates. And once you've got that, once you feel really happy with that, you go to your next step. You then set these clear messages to your target market. Once you've got your suppliers, once you've got your staff, once you know what you want, you then communicate to your target market what it's about. And it's, when I say communicate, it's however you do that. Whether it's through social media, whether it's online, whether it is in store, every single touch point you make sure the message is clear. And your staff and your suppliers are all a part of that. They are all a part to getting that clear message to them. Because if that's not clear, then they're going to get some Chinese whispers there. You want that to be overt, consistent and clear. And that is the next step. And from then, your target market will then understand and become advocates and share the message on. So once they've got on board and once they're empowered and they believe in what you're about, you then pass that on. They then pass that on. They become advocates. They become tribe members. They're the ones saying, you have to buy this. A perfect example is what I'll use as another brand that I'm a little bit obsessed with. And it's called Away. Travel furniture. Travel furniture? I wonder how that would work. Luggage. Travel luggage. And they have been around for, I think I posted, they weren't just they haven't just arrived, they've been around for 7 or 8 years, and they have built a very strong proposition. They saw an issue in the market with, not products, travel luggage that didn't actually deliver on being beautiful, but also practical and usable and rugged and durable. So they built a brand. That was their objective. That's what they wanted. They then found suppliers that were really on board with this. They are really good products. They deliver on quality. They deliver on style. There's a major points that they have. They then bring in their staff members and they empower them. And you should see their videos. Their social media is their staff selling the story, talking about how they love it. And they're so passionate. And they have then continued that on to me. I am a target market. I've bought 3 suitcases from them and I love them. And they aren't just beautiful, but they are practical. I've taken them for a trip and they came out and they delivered. The wheels were running well. It's a hard shell, so my product as well is designed well. You know, sometimes suitcases go like this and you have unusable space. It delivered on my space, and then it has little tiny little cues of little things that make it more authentic. Is you can get your personalised stickers put on there, and you have your initials or a sausage dog, which I've got as well. Things that make it more me, and they've really been clear about that from get-go, what their goal was, what their aim was to their suppliers. They deliver on quality, they deliver on style. They've consistently done that. Their staff members are on board, they're advocates, they're proud, and they're sending the message on to me, who then now has become a brand tribe member, and I am spreading the message on. I'm telling all my friends, oh my gosh, you have to have away luggage. It is a game changer. And can you see that? And then that comes back, I'll then post something. I think I did post on my brand story. Oh my gosh, my away furniture, couldn't live without it. That the message just comes back, you know, it ticks all the boxes, that message goes back to away. And that is the cycle. That is a really strong cycle there. Their objective is going through all of their stages and coming back to them from me as a customer. And that, as a brand, is gold. If you're hearing your goals coming back and your values coming back through your customers, that is success. That is the ultimate, and it's what we all strive for. Because if we're not delivering in every touch point, then we're never going to see the results. You have to invest that time and that strategy to get your foundation strong, and then keep building on it and keep evolving and keep that messages consistent, but making sure you do not miss anyone out. Your suppliers, your staff and collaborators, your target market, and then back to you. You need that consistent brand messaging, and that is the circle of brand messaging. I'll do it again. And I should probably do it that way, shouldn't I, for you guys? You know, yourself, setting that strong foundation, suppliers, then doing it with your staff members and collaborators, making sure everyone touches it from the suppliers are the internals, people that are helping you build the brand attributes. These people here are the externals. So your staff members, your collaborators, anyone else that is outwardly sharing the message of your brand are the next stage. That then connects to your target market. They're the people that are seeing it and breathing it and living it and buying from it, and then they're sharing it back with you. It is a beautiful cycle, and when it works, it is heaven. So you really need to start thinking about your messaging and your brand. Is it consistent? Is what your belief and your thought and your values coming through? And if it's not, stop. Do the brand pack, work out what you're doing, and then be strategic at every point. It sounds like a lot of work, but it's not. It's setting the foundations and making everything easier. Once you have this great communication, you won't ever think again about what you're doing, because you know what your objective is and you know how to touch it. Circle of branding. It's like the circle of life. The circle of branding. Lion King, get it? Sorry, my voice. So that's it for today. That is my tip. If you can nail your circle of branding, you have got a strong brand message. You have got a strong connection. And if you can do it, and it's not hard, it really isn't hard, if you can nail that, that is going to be success for your business. And that is going to be the template for successful campaigns going ahead. And that is a great way to stop, check, to make sure everything is in line. But it has to start with you, and it has to start with your brand direction and what you want. You need to do this first, and in order to do this, you need to set out your who, what, where, and why, and then set it upon for the rest of your business. Well, that was my tip for the week, my branding tip. Print out that thing. I'll actually give a detachment. Have that circle of branding. Put that somewhere and use that as a tool for you. It's super important, and I think it's really important and also very easy to apply once you have your foundations. If you want to know more, watch my vlogs. I've got much more vlogs on branding. Subscribe, be the first to know. Sign up. I actually send weekly information about what I'm about, what's going on, the vlog, so it can give you some tips to watch it. It's on my website, mybrandstory.me. Find out more about the brand pack, because the brand pack is exactly what I'm talking about. It sets your foundations and it makes you authentic, and it brings out all your attributes. It's a 5-week course that I've set, cut out all the jargon, and it's poignant for you. So check it out on mybrandstory.me. And whilst you're there, you can sign up for my brand story 20-point branding checklist, which gives you an idea of where you're at. Do you need more help? We all do, including myself. Every brand is evolving and should always be working on it. Sign up for that as well. That's on my website. Ultimately, what I want you to do is to stay true to your brand story, because what you have to offer, absolutely nobody else has. And remember that. I'm Claire Spalding from My Brand Story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.